Hey people, it's Niall talking. Now this is another Black History video and some of you may have heard this story, some of us may not, but I wanted to share it. So this is from blackpast.org. Isaac Woodward, 1919 to 1992. In 1946, U.S. Army Sergeant Isaac Woodward challenged a Greyhound bus driver while traveling from Georgia to South Carolina after being discharged from service in World War II. Police officers who met him at a next stop brutally attacked him and left him permanently blind. Now, first off, I want to correct this. It says that he challenged them. He simply asked that they could let him off so he could use the toilet, and he just went ballistic, the driver. The attack on Woodward and similar stories of mistreatment of other black servicemen returning from the war led to a new national pressure on racial segregation and discrimination and to the integration of the armed services in 1948. Isaac Woodward was born in Fairfield, South Carolina, but grew up in Goldsboro, North Carolina. He enlisted in the U.S. Army on October 14, 1942 at Fort Jackson in Columbia, South Carolina, and served in the Pacific Theater as a longshoreman in a labor battalion. In February 1946, the decorated soldier received an honorable discharge at Camp Gordon, which is located near Augusta, Georgia. Along with a contingent of other discharged soldiers, black and white, Woodward boarded a Greyhound bus on February 12 to travel home. The conflict was triggered when the bus driver belittled the Army veteran for asking to take a bathroom break. At the next stop, Woodward was met by the Chief Linwood Shull of the Batesburg, South Carolina Police. While still in his Army uniform, remember that they saw that he was a veteran, they didn't care. The police forcibly removed the sergeant from the bus and arrested him for disorderly conduct. They repeatedly beat Woodward, and the next day he was convicted of drunken disorderly conduct, fined $50. However, it took several days for the police to take him to hospital. The beatings that he suffered while in police custody caused him permanent blindness. The National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, NAACP, took Woodward's case in the spring of 1946, pressing military officials to provide assistance to the gravely injured veterans while also calling for legal action against Chief Shull. By September, NAACP officials met with President Harry Truman, who expressed outrage over the assault on a veteran. Although Shull was tried in federal court for beating Sergeant Woodward, he was acquitted after the jury deliberated only for 30 minutes. As news of this attack circulated in the national media, President Harry Truman created the first President's Committee on Civil Rights, PCCR, which published to secure these rights in 1947. The groundbreaking report led to desegregation of the military in 1948 and new federal attention to racial inequality as a matter of both domestic justice and concern for Cold War politics. For many Americans, Isaac Woodward became a sympathetic figure representing the larger conflicts of Jim Crow emerging after World War II. The public response to the vicious attack on Woodward signaled a major shift in public support for civil rights during the 1940s. Isaac Woodward died in the Bronx, New York on September 23, 1992. He was 73. Now, I brought this story up because I want to remind you, this is why no black person should serve in the military. Because more often than not, you will serve in the military and then you will be called an N-word the very next day. Like, if you remember this guy, Isaac, he was still in his uniform. They could see he was a veteran and they were like, well, we don't give a goddamn. And 30 years before that, in, was it Chicago? I think they were, or somewhere, I've seen photos of this. It was the Red Summer of 1919, where they would drag soldiers off trains in their uniform and beat them senseless and attack them. And it also goes back to other things. Like they'll say to you, what do you call it, with all this NFL and Colin Kaepernick and kneeling, you're disrespecting the veterans. When veterans like Woodward were disrespected in their own uniforms, coming back from the war they had served faithfully in, they are just very quiet. I mean, who was it? Like, I mean, sorry, forgive me if I don't remember that one who was shot in South Carolina when he was running away. He was a Coast Guard veteran. But these fake patriots, they go on and on about, we gotta respect the veterans. They didn't respect him. They didn't call for justice and say that he served his country and he should get justice. It's all just bullshit. Anyway, and like I said, forgive me if I don't remember. There's just so many of them, I can't keep up. Anyway, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. I'll leave this and some other sources in the description. Thank you. Peace.